Hello, beautiful, beautiful people. So, I wanted to share a dance with you, and this is a dance that I have wanted for years to to teach it in a way that they can get shared easily, and I've wanted to do it like with a group, and it's never happened. So, um, at this time, I believe of great need, I want to share this dance with you. So, I'm going to just do it, okay? Like in this tiny space. So, the dance was taught to me probably almost 18 or so years ago. So that's in about 2001, maybe 2001, 2002. And I was at the Vermont Wilderness School, and I was told that the dance was created by a family on the West Coast and that it is inspired by Native American music and dances. So this is very vague, but that is all that I got. And we were taught at the Vermont Wilderness School, which I co-founded, by Gilbert Walking Bull, a Lakota elder and holy man. Gilbert taught us um, through workshops. He was amazing. I mean, he came and he did tons of work with us. It was incredible. And he taught us how, in his tradition from the Lakota, that dances um, are danced and taught and experienced in order to create culture, in order to mm, really receive and embody, in order to embody uh, qualities that are important, okay? So, I have used this dance that I will show you now so many times. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of times with all ages and all abilities of people. So I'm very excited to share it with you. Now, I have been taught that when you share something, you do it um, by sharing where it came from, okay? So now in this case, you might say, I learned it from Lucilena on the web. The thing is that it's like playing the game of telephone, and it's very important when we're really doing our best to maintain the integrity of something. Because, sometimes somebody teaches you something, and if you didn't quite learn it correctly, then you're going to be teaching it in a different way, and then 3, 4, 5 people down, somebody's saying something wild that is not true. So it's very important that you know this is not a traditional Native American dance. This is a dance that is inspired by Native American music and dance tradition. And I don't even know what that means because I don't even know who made it up. But if you do know, put it in the comments or tell me or whatever. Okay, so this dance, I call it the river dance, or the Wishita Do Ya. And I'll write that down. And so it's a circle dance, okay? So there are many variations. For example, if you're doing this with very young children, if you're doing the dance with people of varying abilities or people who use wheelchairs, if you're doing this dance with maybe adjudicated youth or people who have special attentiveness that you need to be aware of. So, first of all of you who are going to hear and learn it right now, you know the people that you're working with. Hopefully you understand human development and what the possibilities are. So you adjust it. But what I'm going to do first is teach you the parts that are stable in it, okay? All right, now, Now, you can do it with somebody who is off to the side, um, playing a drum, maybe playing a drum and rattle. That's it. No more than drums and rattles. No guitars, no flutes, no nothing. Okay. Um, in general, this is important. I usually do it just with voices because that's what we have. Okay. So what I'll do first is I'm going to sing you the song. Okay. And then I'm going to show you the movements. All right. Okay. Okay. Wishita do ya, do ya, do ya. Wishita do ya, do ya, hey. Wishita do ya, do ya, do ya. Wishita do ya, do ya, hey. Washa tanea, hey ya, hey ya. Washa tanea, hey ya, hey. Okay. Now this will get done 4 times or 7 times. Could be 5 or 6 times. And then, of course, when I'm working with very young children, I just stay with them and I follow their energy, and it might be less because, you're just kind of going with the flow. But the intention is to do this in a very sacred manner from my point of view. This is how I always operate. Okay, so you hold hands if you can. Now, I'm going to say that with the variations, different populations that you are with, different people, different abilities, you're going to adjust this. I will say that I had a very beautiful experience doing this with adjudicated teenagers in a locked up facility where we simply sat. I think I might have had them stand, actually. And so when I did this with these young men, we simply put the energy into the voices, and I shared drums with some of them and shakers, and we focused on the energy and the sound quality. Okay, so you can do that too without movement, because with some particular populations you might not be allowed to move. Okay, but usually volume dynamics are often allowed in groups. Okay, so I usually do this with probably 3, 4, 5, 6-year-olds with preschool settings, and then of course with children, and of course with teenagers. It's just great. Okay, so what you do, and I'll go over how I do it, like with 4 and 5-year-olds. All right. And I'm wearing my pajama bottoms, but you don't see them, so that's really great. Okay. All right. All right. So. Okay. And just so you know, I only have data where I live between 3 and 6 in the morning, so I literally woke up really early to do this, share it with you. Okay. You're holding hands. Now, this is a whole thing in and of itself, all right, depending on who you're working with. So children need to learn how to hold hands, because you might have some that are like really squeezing hard and hurting the person next to them. Some of them are so shy they don't want to hold hands. Sometimes a teacher will hold children and like he will be like trying to like hold hands with others and holding a child at the same time. Obviously, it's best to have everybody holding hands, and again, teach them how to be gentle so that the people on either side are comfortable and happy with how the hand is being held. Okay? So that's a whole trip, and have fun with that. it is always fine for somebody to be sitting on the side and watching. So if one of the children, one of the people, it just cannot participate, you can say, wonderful, it seems like this would be better for you sitting on the side. And so you make sure that there's plenty of room for children to be sitting on the side. And I say, well, you're watching. So everyone is doing something. Some people are participating in the dance, some are watching. I have never had like a large group with people in the middle, but you could certainly do that. You could experiment with that. I've never done it. But the idea is that you are doing the dance with the folks who are choosing to do the dance. There are people sitting, there's people watching, there might be parallel activities, and again, I've never quite had it where people are just like in the middle and taking it in. I have had it where people who are drumming and using shakers are in the middle. So again, flexibility, but you got to learn the basics. Okay, here's the basics. So you're holding hands, and the first part is like a river. When the river is flowing very peacefully, very beautiful, the water is flowing in a lovely way. And so when we go around, we are going around and holding hands, and there's a feeling of calmness. So I'm going to do this for you now. All right. So it goes like this. Wishita do ya, do ya, do ya. Wishita do ya, hey. Wishita do ya, do ya, do ya. Wishita do ya, hey. Now, before I go on to the next part, I want you to know that what you're doing as the leader is that you are embodying a very healthy river type of a feeling, okay? And you're just embodying healthy water, and you are relaxed, and you are flowing. Now, the folks who are dancing with you are going to be doing whatever they're doing, and it's always fine. I mean, every once in a while I do have to stop and say, oh, let's, you can sit and watch, okay? Or, you know your groups, you know them. But when you do redirecting of what's happening, it must be done with utmost reverence and respect and spaciousness, because there is no obligations, there's no should. But we are keeping each other safe. It's very important that the people who are doing the dance be safe, and that they don't have to be worried about possibly getting hurt. And you might think, wow, how can you get hurt in a dance? You can, okay? I've seen it happen. So it's very important that there be safety. And that's why near the beginning you want to make sure that people are conducting themselves. Because like I said, this is about, using dance as a form of cultural teaching, embodying values that are shared by the culture. So as a facilitator, it is your responsibility that you teach this in a respectful, clear manner, and that that everyone stays safe. Now, I'm being very verbose with you. I do not do this when I teach the dance. I'll kind of show you that later about like how I might just do it. But I'm being more full of details with you. Okay, so let's do that again together. And we're going to do the first part of the dance. Okay, so we're holding hands. We're in a circle, and we're going to go around like water. Wishita do ya, do ya, do ya. Wishita do ya, hey. Wishita do ya, do ya, do ya. Wishita do ya, do ya, hey. Beautiful, like water flowing. Now, the second part of the dance, which follows in a rhythmic manner, is that the river waters have risen, and there are large waves, perhaps after a storm, and there's great splashing and energy in that. So the volume of the song gets louder. The song does not get faster, it stays the same rhythm, and the emotions and the volume rise. Now, you're holding hands, okay? You're holding hands with the children, the teenagers, the people, okay? And you're going to be kind of scooping down and then going up like waves, okay? So there's like Washatanea goes like that. It's like waves. Now, I'm going to tell you the variations now because it's extremely important. So sometimes what happens is that if you step in, like when I was taught the dance, it was that you step in, Washatanea. Oh, sorry, I'll do it this way. Okay, so that you go the Washatanea, you step in holding hands and up, right? Washatanea, and then down, heya, heya, and you walk back to the larger circle. So you're in a larger circle, and you're stepping in, Washatanea, heya, heya, always holding the hands the whole time, right? Now, what happens, which you need to be careful about, is that oftentimes what the children want to do is that when they're stepping in with the Washatanea scooping down and Washatanea with the big waves going inside, what they would like to do is run. They want to run inside. And so they grab and pull their friends inside, and then people fall and people get hurt. Okay? So the power in this dance is that you can actually go in and come back out during this kind of stormy, tumultuous waves, higher volume, higher energy, and stay together and stay safe. Okay? It's very powerful. Okay? So you need to manage this, because sometimes what I say with the groups is that we're not even holding hands, and we just kind of scoop up on our own. Like, I wish I could kind of show you a little bit more, but we would say like Washatanea, oops, what happened here? All right, so as if these are my feet, and these are up. Like, it's Washatanea, heya, heya, Washatanea, heya, hey. And I'll do it with my whole body now. Like if you were not holding hands, or maybe even if you were holding hands, but just staying in your place, okay? Washatanea, heya, heya, touch the ground. Washatanea, heya, hey. So you get this experience that's like very powerful, okay? Washatanea, heya, heya, Washatanea, heya, hey. Okay, now, if you're going to do it with the stepping in, sometimes I limit it, and I say, we are putting one step in. Washa, and holding hands. Washatanea, heya, heya, Washatanea, heya, hey. And with that one, you're kind of like bent like this, and you're saying Wishita Do Ya, hey ya, hey ya, and your arms are just kind of going back a little bit. Wishita Do Ya, hey ya, hey. Now, if you have a capable, safe, advanced group, okay, what you can do is you can literally take 2 steps forward, or even 3 little ones, where you're going like Wishita Do Ya, hey ya, hey ya, Wishita Do Ya, hey ya, hey. Now, I'm being really like soft here, but when you really do this, and I'll do it one time, like the whole thing. I have a bunch of ladybugs flying on my ceiling. The more dynamics you get into the song, the deeper the teaching, the experiential teaching. I mean, if you do the whole song with no volume dynamics and no movement dynamics, then you're just basically like, that's just not what life is about, okay? You really, in order to be healthy, you want to feel the emotions and channel them in appropriate ways. And that is why we have the arts, visual arts, dance, all sorts of movement, theater, poetry, performances, even architecture. All of the different arts and sculpture, they are about the dynamics of emotions, all of the sacred human emotions, okay? And when you don't have arts, then you have some issues with emotional regulation. So the arts help with emotional regulation, okay? So what I'll do right now is I'm going to role model for you the dynamics, and I'm going to do the whole song once through, okay? All right. Here we go. Do you like my necklace? Anyway. Wonderful, beautiful circle that we have, and we're all holding hands. We're going to have a beautiful dance and a safe dance all together, like a river flowing very peacefully at first. Wishita do ya, do ya, do ya, Wishita do ya, do ya, hey. Wishita do ya, do ya, do ya, Wishita do ya, do ya, hey. Wishita Do Ya, hey ya, hey ya, Wishita Do Ya, hey ya, hey. Wishita do ya, do ya, do ya, Wishita do ya, do ya, hey. Wishita do ya, do ya, do ya, beautiful. Wishita do ya, hey. Wishita Do Ya, hey ya, hey ya, big waves. Wishita Do Ya, hey ya, hey. Softer river now. Wishita do ya, do ya, do ya, Wishita do ya, do ya, hey. Beautiful river. Wishita do ya, do ya, do ya, like water. Wishita do ya, hey. Wishita Do Ya, hey ya, hey ya, Wishita Do Ya, hey ya, hey. Back to the peaceful river. Wishita do ya, do ya, do ya, Wishita do ya, hey. Wishita do ya, do ya, Wishita do ya, hey. Big waves. Wishita Do Ya, hey ya, hey. Stay safe. Wishita Do Ya, hey ya, hey. Wishita Do Ya, Do Ya, Do Ya. Wishita Do Ya, Do Ya, hey. Wishita Do Ya, Do Ya, Do Ya. Wishita Do Ya, Do Ya, hey. Stay safe. Washatanaya, hey ya, hey ya. Together. Washatanaya, hey ya, hey. Wishita Do Ya, Do Ya, Do Ya. Wishita Do Ya, Do Ya, hey. Wishita Do Ya, Do Ya, Do Ya. Wishita Do Ya, Do Ya, hey. So you saw that at the end, I remembered, I usually end with the peaceful river part. So there's the Wishita Do Ya, which usually I sing it twice. The Washatanaya, I only do it once. And then again, twice with the other, once with the Washatanaya, and then ending with a Wishita Do Ya, because I want to end with everybody very settled and very united, like in a good circle. And about when to do it. This is not advisable that you do this when you're the people that you're with are very unruly. So it's great to do it after you've done some sort of processes, or after people have gotten out some of the energy that they have, because if there are pent up energies, you are likely to have some issues with doing this dance, because people need to discharge their personal energy before they can really participate in a group. So it might be the little shaking exercises, free dance. There's quite a variety of things that you can do. I'm not a fan of the hokey pokey, but there are ways of shaking, you know, shaking hands and arms and shaking feet and shaking legs and stuff like that. You saw my pajamas. So, but the things that you can do to really not come to this dance when people are off base and very unregulated. The dance is meant to help regulate a group, to bring a group together and to focus on natural energies. You've got the energy of a kind of groundedness because you're holding hands. And there's a kind of stability and groundedness that you can cultivate there. There's the energy of water, of course. And then there's energy of like fire and splashing into the air. And you are able to access those depending on how much stability you have, on how deep and stable and centered you can be while you explore the dynamics of those expressions of those elements. So, I think this is a good introduction for you for the song. When I learned it many, many years ago, I've made many, many mistakes, and people have gotten hurt doing the dance and the song. So I'm sharing with you from my heart and from experience, because this is a very powerful, very healing, and very uniting dance. And again, allow people to just watch and suggest that others watch. Um, Sometimes I say to a child, it'll be wonderful to have you join us when you're ready, and it's okay to sit and watch. And if some don't want to participate at all, do not force it. I'd like to do some closing thoughts because this has been pretty long. Let me just see what comes to me, all right? So, what's coming to me is that oftentimes when people do the asanas in yoga, the poses, the physical poses, um, in the yoga studio, for example, the word yoga, it really addresses much, 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 much more than the physical poses that you would be doing, okay? And one of my teachers said, well, I want to tell you who. So Emily Murphy-Core from Setu in Brattleboro, who taught me Ashtanga Yoga, and she said, Lucelena, all of these poses are preparing us so that we can meditate, so that we can go very deeply within, and that is the purpose of them. And what I'm seeing with this dance, the Wishita Do Ya dance, Wishita Do Ya, is that it prepares us for being able to be in community in a united and peaceful way. Because when you are with people and emotions and energies are not being channeled through, you have dynamics that sometimes many people are not trained to have compassion around certain dynamics. So if you have somebody who raises their voice, who makes a gesture that's more animated, so for many people, they get frightened. They get frightened by volume, they get frightened by movement, they get frightened by emotions. However, volumes and movements and emotions they're natural for the human being. But when you're in a group and there's fear because people have been taught to stay monotone and to stay contained and to not be dramatic, that's how some people refer to natural emotions, then what happens is you can have a very dangerous situation for people who actually feel and express emotions and move and use their voices in the way that their voices are naturally capable of being used. So what we do with this song as a group is that we are experiencing gentleness and quiet and flow, and we are also allowing for it's like the timpani drum. You would never say to the timpani drum in the symphony orchestra, you would never say, well, that's too loud. Like it's supposed to be loud. I mean, sometimes they're supposed to be soft, obviously, like very, very soft. But sometimes when a composer wants something very dynamic that kind of resonates like a thunderstorm being very close, of course they would want these drums, and they would want them at fullness. So I want to wish you well, and sending all my love and appreciation that we are all human beings at this time, with maybe some pets watching the video as well. Have a wonderful time with the song and the dance, Wishita Do Ya, and you're always free to contact